Apple's storage upgrades for the M4 Mac Mini are seriously expensive, but don't worry, you don't have to pay those high prices and you can swap the SSD out yourself. Today, we're here to show you exactly how. For this repair you'll need a jimmy, some iFixit opening picks, a suction handle, a 2IP, a 3IP, a 5IP, and 8IP Torx Plus drivers, a spudger, and some tweezers. You'll also need your new SSD, a fix mat to help keep track of the small screws, and a second Mac to restore your new drive once it's installed. First things first, fully shut down your Mac Mini and unplug all the cables, and then flip it over and place it on a clean, flat surface to avoid scratches. Next, grab your jimmy and insert it into the gap between the bottom cover and the chassis. Hold the jimmy in place and insert an opening pick into the gap you just made. Then, remove the jimmy and start sliding the pick around the bottom cover. When you feel it catch on something, that's a clip. There are 4 of them, 1 at each corner. Twist the pick gently to release each clip, working your way around the edges. Just be careful near the power button and don't push the pick in more than an inch. Once all 4 clips are released, lift the edge of the bottom cover opposite the power button, but be very careful. The bottom cover is still attached by a power button cable. The power button cable and its connector are very fragile, and a number of people have torn the cable in the process of trying to disconnect it. Instead of trying to disconnect the cable, use your T2 Torx driver to remove the 4 screws securing the power button to the bottom cover, and then lift the cover away. Your Mac Mini uses Torx Plus screws, but a standard Torx bit will work if you apply steady downward pressure. Use your T5 Torx screwdriver to remove the 8 screws securing the inner plate. Now, grab your spudger and insert the tip into one of the clip slots on the plate. Pry up just enough to get a grip with your fingers, and then pull the plate away from the chassis to slide it out from under the heatsink lip. Don't yank it up just yet, it's still connected by a cable. Carefully lift and flip over the inner plate and rest it against the chassis. Next, let's get that fan out of the way. Remove the 4 screws securing it. The 2 larger ones are T5 Torx and the smaller are T3 Torx. With those out, lift the fan out of its recess, flip it over, and let it rest on the chassis and heatsink. You'll see that its connector is still attached. Use tweezers to pull back the tape covering the fan's ZIF connector, and then use your spudger or a fingernail to flip up the locking tab. Gently slide the connector straight out, and then remove the fan completely. Use your T8 Torx driver to remove the screw holding the SSD in place. Then, take your spudger and insert it into one of the holes along the bottom edge of the SSD. Gently pull the SSD side to side until it starts to come loose. Once it's free, grip the SSD by a corner and lift it out. To install your new SSD, insert it at an angle and gently wiggle it into place until it sits flush against a logic board, and then secure it with the T8 Torx screw. Now, just work backwards to reassemble your Mac Mini. Reinsert the fan's cable into its ZIF connector and then secure the fan with its screws. Put the inner plate back into place and reinstall its 8 screws. Reinstall your power button, making sure to align it correctly in the case. And snap the bottom cover back on, pressing along the edges until you hear all 4 clips click back into place. Now, we're ready to restore our new SSD for use. While holding the Mac Mini's power button down, plug in the power cord. This should put the Mac Mini into DFU mode. If you're successful, you should see a flashing amber light on the front of the Mini. Connect a lightning cable to the central lightning port on the back of the Mini that has been helpfully labeled with a lightning bolt. Then, connect the other side of the cable to your second Mac. Once connected, the Mini should show up in your Finder window sidebar. Simply select the Mini, click on Restore, and let the machine run the restore process on your new drive. And that's it. You just saved yourself a ton of money and gave your Mac Mini a serious storage boost. Let us know in the comments how your repair went.